You know why they call this the green hell, don't you? Because it is indeed a green hell. As said by Sir Jackie Stewart, actually, three-time world champion in 69, 71 and 73. So impressed by this circuit that he gave it the name, which will probably never ever lose, and that was the green hell. He said, "It is something which seemed as if reeling, drunken giant had been sent out to determine the route." Thank you, Sir Jackie. Welcome, Tiger here, and welcome to this race. This is the Al Gartner Tribute race. 2 races, World Touring Cars and Group C's. Crikey, you couldn't get much farther apart, could you? 2 races. This first race is 25 minutes. They're in a warm-up at the minute, 2.5 minutes. 25 minutes. They'll get about 4 laps out of that in these World Touring Cars. Top speed about 155 miles an hour. Then there'll be a short break. Rodders will pop in and say some nice words about Al Gartner. And then we'll then move on to the second race, 45 minutes in the more serious, in the big boys, the big boy machines, the Group C's. A group which actually to this day is still classed as probably the greatest group of, woo, as we see Alwyn there decide, oh my God, it's front wheel drive! Why didn't anyone tell me it's lift off oversteer only? He's not happy, is he? The Group C's, the class of cars that people to this day stay up, well, the greatest of racing cars. You know, just monstrous things from the 80s. Actually, Race Room says from the early 80s to the 90s, to the 1990s, but they actually went for about 15 years. And in Race Room, which is this sim, there's only 2 Class C's or 2 Group C's to choose from. The Nissan, the nickname, the Nissan Rock, and the Porsche Team Joes, the 962. So we'll be seeing them after this race. Awesome. No pit stops or anything like that. No time multipliers. No damage either, actually. And there's no fuel use on this race. And tyre wear is on. Cool. We've got 17 runners out there. Now, I said this is Al Gartner tribute race. Why? Why a tribute to Al Gartner, Tiger? Well, because Al personifies everything that actually we all would want to be. But a selfless commitment in that which was his career. Obviously now retired, although been called back for the recent crisis that the world is facing, and undoubtedly will have a great impact in his area of expertise. Because we're lucky enough to have people like Al in this club who are experienced men in the world and come sim race with us and never ever gives in, always keeps going, and you know, he'll be the first to admit that he's certainly not one of the top runners in the club, but certainly, you know, I mean, in the past 14 months while I've been with RWB, I've certainly seen him get better, and he's certainly at the top elements of the sort of 3rd quadrant in my view of RWB. He's a good guy, and we'll hear more of Rodders later on, who will say a few nice words about him, I'm sure. Cool. So looking forward to this. 50 seconds now in the garage. What else can I tell you about this wonderful place? Well, 73 corners. You can go around this in real life. If you want to go around, it will cost you 26 euros, or if you want to close it down for an hour, well, it will cost you 1,350 euros, but you can. There is also a 1.5 year waiting list, so get planning. So they're on the start then, and right at the beginning there you can see the run-up is Cos, followed by Jammer and Frederico's Wagner. That was a random, hopefully they'll all get through, yeah. That was a random field picked. Looks like everyone has got through all right now as they're going through the hats and back. And actually I want to use this opportunity to take you around. Oh, Cos, going through hats and back now. And hopefully everyone's managed to get through. Let's try and go for a wider shot. 2nd place, 3rd place, Rodders. Rodders in one of the classes of cars tonight, one of the 6 classes of cars. Let me just find my data. Yeah, one of the 6 classes of cars that hold records around here. You got compact cars, mid-range cars, executive cars, SUVs, off-road vehicles, vans, pickups, sports cars, and prototypes. And that car there, the Lincoln Co, holds one of the prototype records. Holds one of the prototype records. He says. Yep. One of the prototype records, which was 720.143. 720.143. So we'll be watching closely there. As we've just seen someone go off there, I think that was actually Cos. Was that Cos? No, it wasn't. So Rodder's out there at the front. Rodder's actually randomly got chosen out, and he was in 8th position, so already in 1st place. Seahacks in 2nd place. Bang! Hits the Armco. Do that in real life, it's going to cost you €23 a metre. That's right, €23 a metre. The Nordschleife, or North Loop, of course, as we like to refer it to, is 12.8 miles of open public road. Clearly, they close it off for some racing, some racing series that they have. Lowest point is about 320 metres, and the highest point is about 620 metres. So, a 300-metre climb over 12.8 miles. Putting the map on for a bit of orientation. Let's see now. You're looking at the guy in the blue. The blue on the map, obviously, which is Seahacks. I've just gone through Wursteifen. My German's bloody awful, so don't be sending me any messages. I don't think you quite pronounced. It's not Wursteifen, it's Bersteifen. I don't care what it is. Call it what it is. It's simple as that. So there he is. He's going through the X-Mule now. This is the lowest part of the track here. And up the hill towards the Bergwerk. Just on the right hand side is where Nicky Lauda had that awful crash, which of course scarred him and burnt him the rest of his life. Some say that actually contributed towards his death just over the years from ill health and poor lungs and so on. But terrible accident that was. Seahacks then in 3rd place. Bit of a battle going on behind there between Jammer and CSAM there, side by side. Now, gentlemen, remember your bounds. We're looking at CSAM in the Hyundai, Jammer in the Audi. So CSAM just taking Jammer there now, and CSAM got Seahacks in his sights. Looking back there to Jammer, you see a bit of a gap clawed there from CSAM to Jammer, 1.22 seconds. And the Audi RS3 is not, by any stretch of the imagination, even anywhere near the rest of these cars. So, notwithstanding the fact that Jammer was pulled out to start this race in 2nd place and is now down in 5th place, to be honest with you, Jammer, I don't think it would matter whether you put nitroglycerin in that Audi. It's completely and utterly mismatched. That whole chassis frame is built for quattro, not for 2-wheel drive. Front at that. Good grief. Alwyn out there in 6th place. He's another one in the Lincoln Co, the touring car. Menacing Skull out there in 7th place. Menacing in the Honda. So we just zip up onto 2 wheels there. Looking back to Rigel. Rigel's in the Hyundai i30N. And as we're riding with Rigel, 0.2 of a second behind Menacing Skull, looking for an opportunity, but thinks better of it in this stage. But no, there we go. Bang has got him on the inside. Oh, good grief, Menacing Skull. Open your eyeballs, lad. No need for that whatsoever, in my view. Madley's out there in 9th place at the minute in that rather bland Hyundai i30M, but I know why he done that, so he was easy to be able to be identified. But he'll run a good race with his 2.5 tons worth of sim racing rig. Resident Evil out there in 10th place. Good to see Evil out there. took a bit of a hiatus out of the sim racing world for a little while, and every now and then comes back. Fergie out there in my favourite touring car, the Cupra. Great colour, great scheme, great racing, great livery that. Fergie out there now in 11th place. Carlos Barros out there in the Alfa Romeo. Funny looking car that, isn't it? Al Gartner, the man who we're all here to say thanks, Al. Thanks for doing what you do, doing what you've done, and thanks very much for being an epitome of what an RWB member should be about. Respect for others, selfless commitment, and buy-in. Dave Crew in 14th. Cos, who started the race off fine, but then finished off in where he is at the minute in 15th place. I know for a fact that he would just love the rest of this race, but be quite happy where he is. Beer down there in 16th place. Quite unusual to see Beer out there. Perhaps he had a bit of an off there earlier on and we didn't see it. And Charger bringing up the rear as we just see Beer there have a little bit of a spin. Such a big track. This is 12.8 miles. You have one spin and everyone else is, half a mile down the road. You'll find it incredibly difficult, if not impossible, to catch up. Why? Because unlike a normal circuit, there are less places for people to slow down. This is a fast track. There are only a few areas where you are going slow, and it's those slow areas in parity to your fast areas where time is made up. So because there are no slow areas, then ultimately you'll find it incredibly difficult to claw back the time. First place, and Rodders riding with Rodders then, just going through Hats and back now. And now, of course, going down the Hocken. There's a lot of hoes around here. Just going up through Quiddelbacher Hoe. There's a lot of hoes around Nordschleife. Through the Flugparts. And this long sweeping left-hander, of which you need to be cautioned here, just over the crest. Through the bit of a dipper. This is the Arenberg. Particularly on this left-hander here, hugging the inside as he does, into the Schwedenkreuz, the Schwedenkreuz. All the Germans out there are pissing their pants laughing right now. I don't care. Keep laughing. Through another hoe, the Fuchs hoe. I didn't make that up. Fuchs hoe. And then up into the Anderforst. Lots of compression, it says here on my notes, through there, purely because of gravity. Centrifugal. It's not going to be centrifugal, is it? Because that's from the outside. It's from the inside out. Centrifugal, I think you'll find. Centrifugal force. Through the Metzgersfeld. Through Callenard. Here we go, this is Callenard through here. Rodders pulling away now, 11.7 seconds away from CSAM. We're going to break away in a minute. Through the Weersiphon. I don't know one bit of German. Forget his dear. Is how are you, I think. Be a bitter. Cool, well done Rodders, leading out in the front. It's almost a given, look at that. I think he should have been out there in a shopping trolley, shouldn't he? So 11.6 seconds behind him. Just seeing him go around the corner there in the Hyundai i30N. CSAM not catching up actually. Rodders is slowly pulling away. So pulling out all the skills he has. Charger there, just got a slow down penalty. Seahacks in the other Lincoln Co in 3rd place. Rigel in 4th place. He's made significant gains, hasn't he? But to be expected. Chief Truck Master, very, very good out there. Madley in 5th place. And Evil in 6th place. Now those top 6 there, you'd expect to see them there You know, Rodders started, where did he start? Let's see now. Rodders started in 8th place, he's now 1st. CSAM started in 15th place, he's now 2nd. C-Hacks started in 5th place, he's now 3rd. Rigel started in 20th place, he's now 4th. And Madley started in 18th and he's now 5th. And finally Evil, let me just see now. Yeah, Evil didn't register, but clearly the door is always open to him because of his situation currently. But Evil would have been in the middle of the pack somewhere. So, but that top 6, you expect them to be there really. You know, enjoy the rest of the race. 13 minutes left. FX, good position for FX in 7th place. He started 10th. Fergie out there, he is in 8th place currently. And I don't believe I've got a position for him. No, I don't. No, I don't. So 8th place for Fergie. 9th is Alwyn, and again, I don't believe I've got a position for Alwyn. Carlos Barros out there in 10th place. Dave Crew in 11th place, who started 19th. Al Gartner, who started 16th and now currently 12th. Menacing Skull, Munching Skull, started 9th and now 13th. Cos, the Wise, the new member mentor of RWB International, started 1st and now 14th. Charger started 12th and now 15th. Beer, who has started in 11th place and now 16th, and we saw him have that terrible sort of spin earlier on. Would have made his eyes pop out of his head, I'm sure. Jammer, who was doing so very well alongside CSAM in the RS3, and then you know, just dropped. CSAM just pulled away, and Jammer is now running last, and clearly Jammer had another issue there. But you know what, Jammer, that RS3 is just outmatched by every car in the touring car class. Controversial statement, Tiger. Well, actually, you know, I've done some testing. I don't think that's the case. Rubbish. It is. I've done the testing as well, and it's nothing like the rest of the cars. Acceleration is down and top speed is down. So, yeah, what do you take away from that? Stay away from the Audi. Cool. There he goes. Way out there, isn't he? Let's see if we can find some close racing there in pit with Dave Crew now, following up behind Carlos Barros. Carlos Barros, I believe from Portugal. I think, let me just check. Yep, Portugal. Portuguese. Just going through the second carousel now and coming along towards the main straight. These cars are at about 155, 156 miles an hour around here. Looks like Dave's got some good drive in that, good speed in those corners there. It's on, lift on around that corner there to get the maximum out of it. But I just think he's just a little bit too far away to benefit in any way, perhaps. But I think he is clawing him in, isn't it? And there's long enough along here that he will have the speed. Yeah, you know, Carlos Barros is trying to shake him off his tail, but you know what? You can only really do it once, Carlos, I'm afraid. That's it, let's go to a wide shot. Bang. And of course, Dave, quite rightly, has managed to get past him in the Peugeot. Excellent stuff. Another close race going on here. Menacing Skull, Al Gartner just taken Menacing Skull there in cockpit with Menacing Skull following Al Gartner. Al Gartner, the Lincoln Co, the blue one right in front of us, but Menacing Skull got a much better drive through there. So is Menacing Skull going to challenge Al Gartner at the start? Nice and clean through there. See why Al Gartner went wide there, trying to take the faster line. Al will be aware of that clearly, but you know, we're looking at 12th and 13th here on the wing now with Al Gartner looking back at Menacing Skull. And old Munching Skull there really sort of, you know, went straight over as we saw. He just lost that through hats and back. But Al was nice and clean through there. I have to say, the Lincoln Co. touring car doesn't even look like a touring car. It looks like a GT3 car, doesn't it? Nordschleife, infamous track, goes back to 1925 to 27 when it was built. You know, it's had it has about 3 to 12 fatalities around here every single year, which is terrible news. Of course it is, but you know, there has been 72 racing driver incidents that have resulted in fatalities. Menacing Skull, Munching Skull, Munching Skull munched his way into the Armco. And if you went around here on a tourist farten, as they call it, which is the tourist days, tourist routes, then you crash into the Armco and you'll pay €23 a metre. In fact, sorry, €31 a metre for 2020. €31 a metre, and that's why all the Armco is pristine out there, because one little dent and you'll get billed for it. Now they don't take out the Armco that you've damaged and give it to you so you can go home with it. They keep it in place, and the money that you have to pay to replace that Armco goes in the kitty. Very loose back end there, Munching Skull. You're very loose on the back end. You have a loose butt. 7 minutes and 18 seconds left of this race. Just gone through Callanard, through the on lift on, into Vierseifen. Cos out there in 14th place. Beer had a terrible time earlier on, didn't he? Let's flip up to Steve Ferguson, Fergie in the Cupra, following Dave Crew and Carlos Barros. Great racer, Fergie, and if he sees an opportunity, he'll absolutely take it. Of course he will. Great car, this Cupra. And in real life, I have to say, it looks absolutely stunning. And who wouldn't want 320 horsepower in a car that weighs as much as a trolley? 0.2 of a second, 0.21, 0.20. So Fergie is pulling in Dave Crew. We're going up towards the Mutt curve. He's definitely faster than him coming up there, but he just hasn't got enough to take him, has he? Going through Mutt. Through the Mutt curve now. And this little kink to the right is Klosteral. Through Klosteral. Yeah, well placed Fergie on the inside there. A little bit of front end going wide slightly into the carousel, or out of Klosteral. Fergie now going into the carousel, and now chasing down Carlos Barros, who has the best name in this entire grid. So, can Fergie take Carlos Barros? Well, 0.38, 0.37. So, you know, he is close enough that, you know, for this third sector of Nordschleife, going along down the Dottinger Hoe, which I think is German for road. He'll have enough down there to be able to catch him. Speed was joining us, but looks like he didn't. So something obviously happened there, but he was going to be joining us. All right, there's races all over here, and we're looking at Steve, we're looking at Fergie and Dave Crew, with Fergie in his sights there, riding with Dave Crew, looking at Fergie, and in front of him Carlos Barros. Looks like Charger is also challenging Jammer there on the inside. Jammer fighting with that RS3 to get it to do anything remotely that which is stable first and competitive second. Well, you're in the wrong car, Jammer lad. But I do understand why you chose the Audi. Why not? But no one else did, and they sort of subliminally know. So good luck with that position. Back to old Munching Skull. Oh, and it looks like Carlos Barros there. Now this is when you want to rewind a rewind slot to find out what happened. But Munching Skull there behind Al Gartner. Coming down. Let's find out where they are now, boys. Yeah, so entering the last sort of sectors towards Dottinger. Or they're on Dottinger. I think they're on Dottinger. Yeah, they are. In cockpit. Al Gartner out in front there. 0.79, 0.78, 0.77. So, you know, Menacing Skull is reeling him in, but I don't think he's got enough of Dottinger down here to reel Al in. That Lincoln Co has got some long legs on it, which is what you want around here, a car with long legs. A little bit scrappy from Al around that corner, but you know, he's still out there, still racing in a good position, 11th. If you so as I said, you know, you can drive around Nordschleife. I think we all pretty much know that. So what have you got a budget for? Well, it's 31. It's 26 euros for a go around in your own car. If you have a crash, you'll have to pay 190 euros to be recovered from anywhere on the track. You'll have to pay 31 euros a metre for any Armco damaged. You'll have to pay 82 euros an hour for any safety car and or any safety staff that are deployed during that time. And then of course you'll have to pay your excess on your insurance, which oh, Munching Skull, there he goes, like Robin Cousins in the Olympics. Perfect Sukahara, well done. Let's have a look at Fergie there, just got past Dave Crew. And you to get your ticket, you're pretty much going to sign off on all that. So you know, quite a few people have been around the Nordschleife. I was chatting away to FX earlier on. He's been around there in his own car in a Radical and, you know, a sort of track taxi, so to speak. I'm going to stay with these two just for the next 20 seconds or so. He's been around there in a track taxi rather than take his baby around there. But I think that's common sense as well. If you're going to go to the Nordschleife, don't worry too much about taking your own car around. Jump in a track car and let someone else do it. At least you won't be paying for. Oi, 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 oi. What a shame, Fergie. And Dave Crew says thanks very much. Rodders then coming towards the beginning of the last third sector of the race, and right behind him CSAM, so over the past 3 laps has caught up 11 seconds. Let's go through some lap timings. Rodders fastest lap 7:22, CSAM 7:18, so 4 seconds quicker, which of course makes perfect sense. And over 3 laps, you know, 11.5, 12 seconds he's clawed back, and is now currently 1.95 seconds behind him. Possibility that he could catch Rodders for the rest of the race. I don't think so, because that Lincoln Co has got much better legs when it comes to top end, and the only place in my view that CSAM can really get him or challenge will be along Dottinger. But you know, we're talking CSAM or Rodders here, so you know, CSAM could probably rub his fingers and pull out a second from the air. CSAM second place, Rigel in third place, 9 seconds behind him, Seahacks, then Evil, then Madley, then Alwyn, FX, Dave Crew in 9th, Fergie in 10th, Al Gartner out there in 11th, Munchin Skull in 12th, Carlos Barros out there in 13th, Beer not having a beer in 14th, Jammer in the terrible RS3 in 15th, Cos in 16th, and Charger bringing up the rear as he usually does in 17th, back to first place. Let's pop on the wing with Rodders. Let's see if we, that's nothing. Rodders only has to have a little slide or just brake a little bit too late and understeer into a corner, or brake too early and lose too much speed before an entry, and CSAM will be all over him like a Dalek on a dustbin. All over him like Beecham's on COVID. So we were talking about laps, weren't we? Rodders' best lap 7:22, CSAM 7:18, Rigel 7:20, Seahack 7:21, Evil 7:25, Madley 7:23, Alwyn 7:32, FX 7:35, Dave Crew 7:26, Fergie 7:29, Al Gartner 7:30, Munchin Skull 7:42, Carlos Barros 7:29, Beer 7:31, Jammer 7:40, Charger 8th 23, and finally Cos 7:46. So the quickest man out there on track is CSAM 7:18. That is some doing. Next to him is Rigel with a 7:20. Cool. Now this is where, let's have a close look now. 0.41, 39, 38, 36, 34, 32, 30, 29, 28. CSAM could well challenge Rodders along the Dottinger Ho, which I think is German for road. 0.12, 0.09, 0.07, 0.06. And they are now level pegging. And of course Rodders is on the inside and has got the line into the final section through the hone rain, and CSAM just not enough, but a great challenge along Dottinger. Well done, Rodders wins the race with CSAM in second place. On to Auto Director then. Let's allow everyone to go through now. Rigel in third place. Seahacks in fourth place in the other Lincoln Co. Well done, Seahacks. 7:21 last lap, and that was your best lap. 7:30.983 was your last lap. On to Alwyn in seventh place. Best lap 7:32.911. Well done, Alwyn, in seventh. FX in eighth place. Just crossed 7:35, 7:30.255. Fergie in ninth place. Best lap 7:29.127. Dave Crew in 11th place. Munching Skull in 12th place. Best lap 7:42.064. And Munching Skull does a little side swipe there past the finish line. Carlos Barros in 13th. Jammer in 15th. Yeah, look at that. You know, I know what he's doing. He's thinking to himself, is this car really that bad? Yes, it is, Jammer, but try and finish the race semi-seriously, old boy. Yeah, that's just doomed to failure. Doomed to failure. Doomed to failure. Hopefully that won't interfere with anyone else. Jammer, why don't you just stay there and let everyone finish and just bring up the rear. Yeah. Here comes Cos. Cos in 17th place. Well done, Cos. And there we go. So that was race 1 of the Al Gartner tribute race. So they done, what do they do? Let's remind ourselves, they done 25 minutes, default setups, no pit stops, no damage, no fuel use, tyre wear was on. Lots of people spinning off. You only have to have one spin off. And then because the track is so fast, you'll find it incredibly hard to catch up. But in first place, Rodders, C-Sam in second, and C-Hacks in third. And of course, very, very close between Rodders and C-Sam, coming down the end of Dottinger. But you know, Rodders just managed to sneak it in before the Hohenrain. Dottinger to Hohenrain. Just making a note, you guys. Great. All right. Well, what we're going to do now is we're now going to move into a sort of, we've never done this before. We're going to move into a sort of intermission period where the wizard is going to set up the server for the next race. And in the interim time, I think Rodders is going to pop in and say a few words about Al Gartner and why this race is so appropriate to be a tribute to him. So without further ado then, I'll now hand you over to Rodders, who can then talk to you for the reasons why we're doing this as a tribute race. So Rodders, first, you know, maybe I can ask you a question and open the stage for you. Why are we doing a tribute race for Al Gartner in particular?
It was suggested by your good self that, you know, this is the sort of thing that we could maybe be doing, and I'd actually had it in the back of my mind and was kind of thinking, sort of, you know, just back of the mind looking for an opportunity, and yeah, it came up, and I was the first person I thought of. You know, he's the oldest member of the club. Just get that out of the way. He takes that title, and I've got a feeling may hold it for forever. But he's one of these guys. He's been here since I started. He's just, it's always good when he speaks. It's always something worth listening to. It's always got a wee bit of eccentricity in it, which I think is excellent. He's got a turn of phrase like nobody else. And he's one of the guys that just kind of sticks with. He's solid, good guy. I mean, smart. His jogging's a neurobiologist. Hopefully I get that right this time. He always tells me off for getting it wrong. He's kind, he's helpful. I had a serious issue a while back that was in his area of expertise, and it just out of the blue I get this fantastic bit of information from him. He's the most generous donator to the club. You know, he's gentle, he never raises his voice. He's wise. Actually, he may be the oldest, but I'd say he's one of the wisest. Yeah, and just one of these, just a gent. Somebody that I think nobody's got a bad word for. So I think it's the first kind of award race to sort of, you know, acknowledge just members, you know, or anyone that's here, no matter what they do. He was a fitting first person, and he deserves it.
I think those are wonderful words. It's always, you know, we're all too quick nowadays to just get on with life and not stop and just turn around and say thank you to some people that have an effect on our lives. And I think that's a really nice thing for you to say. And I absolutely, I mean, you've known him far longer than I have, but I absolutely concur. I did say at the very beginning of the stream, you know, for me, he epitomises what we all want RWB members to be: respectful, you know, an ear, committed and dedicated, and he's all of those things and more. And
Yeah.
I think if we could all be a little bit like Al Gartner, the world would be a better place, I think.
Aye, I mean, Al's the first to admit, getting on a bit. Sometimes his awareness is is off here and there. And there was once after a race, that was admin in the race, and I had to go to Al just to sort of point out some things. And he's just said, "Oh, good, if I'm not, he offered up if he's not really able to cut it, he'd be happy to hang up his gloves." So obviously we would have none of it, but just the fact that he would think like that, says a lot about the guy.
Yeah.
And I guess another quick one, there was a race years ago in P-Cars 1, I hadn't been in the club long, Formula 3s, and Al had an accident quite early on, and none of us knew how he did it during the race, just cut through us all, and I think he got first or second place. It was amazing. And we watched back the replay. I'm not going to say Al unwittingly caused a bit of carnage, but it was quite an hilarious bit of video, and he still get the credit for winning because it was just hilarious, and it was kind of just a great example of Al. Even when he does something that wasn't the greatest, nobody feels ill towards him. And yeah.
Well, he done well out there. He wasn't last, and I actually said, that. I have noticed that he has started to sort of, he's not always at the back anymore. He's always roughly around the middle or in the sort of top end of the bottom quadrant sort of thing. So,
yep.
He's had a good race there for sure.
Al paces himself the way as he needs to, but if you watch him doing TT, he's as quick as MD in a one-off lap. The guy's quick, but yeah, he paces himself during the longer races. And I think he actually the endurance race, 3-hour endurance race in January, he made it the whole way through. Yeah, I think he did an issue in the last one, but so.
And
I can't see much more.
And earlier on, you said he was. I think he's one of our oldest members. Not, of course, we've got Cars and we've got Charger. I mean, they're just waiting for death now, essentially. But I mean, Al is. He retired, didn't he? He was. He's a medical
just about
expert.
to. I think it's just. And I've got a feeling that may be postponed slightly.
Yeah, I think so. I think he has been asked to come back to the world to help out in whatever he can with this current, worldwide crisis, isn't he?
Cool. And just say thanks, Al. Great to have around. Hope you stick around. And it's all round good guy. So thank you.
Oh, wonderful words, Rodders. And I think what Rodders is saying on all of our behalves is that RWB is a better club with you in it.
Indeed.
Thanks, Rodders.
I better get back to racing, sir. I shall see you at the end.
Yeah, and a great race, by the way. And let's have a little, because they're still sorting themselves out. Let's have a quick cheeky interview. Can we just have a quick cheeky interview?
Yeah.
So I managed to get one of the few close points, but I managed to get you and C-Sam at the very end there. I bet you thought to yourself, I am not moving from this right-hand side. You are not going to be able to make it all the way around.
No, I thought he had me, but in the uphill we both topped out, or the drag, and I held it. Yeah, but I because of the way we done the grid, I got lucky and got a good gap, so I thought I seen C-Sam at the same pace, so slowed down a bit for some reason, but yeah, it was fun.
Well, he essentially clawed back about 2 seconds per lap. He was putting out 7:18s out there, which is quite extraordinary.
Yeah.
But the legs on the old Lincoln Co. And it's great. Well timed. I reckon if there was another couple of laps, I reckon you would have had some more close racing there. So it would have been really good to see.
Well, hopefully a bit more. This is going to be interesting in the next one.
Yeah, indeed it is. Yeah, indeed it is. So get out there and enjoy yourself, and we'll join you in 6 minutes for the race.
Cheers, Tiger.
All right, take care. Great. Well, there you go. Well, that's some nice words there by Rodders about Al, who for Al listened to this, speaking on all of our behalves. That is the wow. C-Sam just ruining at least €230 worth of Armco there, but and we're going to do some more races like this, tribute races. There's lots of people that do all sorts for other people in this club, and just because it's not put on a post in general or sent out as an announcement, don't think for a minute it doesn't happen. There's a lot of people in the club that do an awful lot for other people, and don't stand on a pedestal expecting any form of praise. Munching Skull in the bright yellow Nissan R9CK, the Nissan Rock. Now, okay, so race 2. Let's talk about this. They've got 5 minutes of practice. Why is everyone going off, you're saying? Why are they all going off? I'll tell you why they're going off, shall I? Because these cars, absolute monsters. You know, 800, well, actually, Raceroom says 800, they're not actually, it's about 830. 830 horsepower in these machines. They are essentially space frames. They're space frames. So, you know, you could take the whole shell off of that car, and the driver will still be able to drive the whole chassis all the way around. And these Group C car monsters, traction control, none. ABS, none. This is just pure out and out power. And for those who know anything about Porsche, they say the Rothmans Porsche, the 962, was the greatest Porsche. Well, actually, they done them in several different liveries. The 962 was in the Rothmans, the Silk Cut, but the greatest Porsche ever created. And I sort of agree with that. But then, of course, the 919 came along, didn't it? And held the lap record around Nordschleife. 5 minutes 19. 5 minutes 19. Good news, everybody. We said that we would be looking at Rodders' time, didn't we? 7:20.143. What do you think Rodders' time was? Fastest time? Anybody? Does anybody know what his fastest time was? I called it out. I can't remember now. Perhaps someone could rewind down the stream, go back and tell me what Rodders' fastest lap was. Because the fastest lap in the Lincoln Co. and the prototype category around here was 7:20.143. Did Rodders beat that? I don't think he did. I think he was just outside it. But that just goes to show you just how, you know, well matched these are physics-wise. You know, our own Rodders went round in 7:20 as his best lap, and the best lap for a prototype around here was 7:20.143. Awesome. Right. Okay. Where are we now? Where are we? Right. So we've got 2 minutes and 40 left. Jammer. Tiger, can you pull me in to commentate? I got it, fella. You sit back there and you have a cup of tea. I'm on a flow. You had a terrible first race. The reason why you had a bad first race, Jammer, is because you chose the Audi RS3. Wrong car. It's awful. Awful. How you managed to keep it going around there is beyond me. What is the score with this second race? Well, it's a 45 minutes race. Setups are on, so they could have made setups to these cars. I think it depends on how much they've trained or not, as to whether they've done any setups on it. I would suggest lots of wing and plenty of camber, and be careful with your brake bias. Damage is limited. Now, what does that mean in race room now? Well, I'll tell you what that means. That means that you are going to be able to get some flat spots, and you know, you can cause some serious damage to these cars, even on limited. Fuel use is on, tyre wear is on, and there is a compulsory pit stop, and you've got to change all the tyres, and you've got to use both compounds available. So this is a much more serious race, this one. Currently 17 people out there. You start off on softs, you've got to have your pit stop, and then you've got to change to hards. Simple as that. Now, the running order for this second race I believe, was the finishing order in the first race. Let me just check. Yeah, essentially. The finishing order for the first race will be the starting order for the second race. So we were having a chat with Rodders, weren't we? So he'll be starting first. Interesting information time with 14 seconds left to go before a bit of a warm-up. I say there are 6 different types of categories for lap records around the Nordschleife. Compact cars is the Renault Megane RS, the Trophy R, and that set a time around here of 7:45.39. The mid-range cars, which is the 5 minutes warm up. The mid-range cars, which are pretty much your mid-range sports cars, the Jaguar XE SV Project 8. I'm sure you've all seen the videos on the Project 8. That went round here in 7:23. The executive cars is held by the, as you probably would expect, the AMG 63 with 7:30. The SUVs, off-road vehicles, vans and pickups is set with 2 cars around it. The Audi RS Q8, brand new one. Last year, actually, with a time of 7:45. Now that's as heavy. That's as heavy as a bus, and they've pushed it forward to the race. Great. And the AMG GL63 7:54. Sports cars, Porsche GT2 RS 6:44. The fastest lap ever around here is in the prototype 5:19.546 in the Porsche 919, and the Volkswagen IDR, the electric car, holds the electric record around here. Romain Dumas last year in June, and he set a time of 6:05.336. So here we go then. Rodders at the beginning, C-Sam second, Rigel third, C-Hacks fourth. On the wing now of Rodders, and we can see there he gets away clean. C-Sam on the inside, C-Sam right behind him, then C-Hacks, then Rigel. Evil in 5th place. We can see behind him Alwyn there, and Fergie. Madley in 8th place, all managing to get through tidy so far. FX in the last of the Porsches. Then we've got a Nissan crew. We've got Dave Crew, Carlos Barros, Al Gartner, who's also in the Nissan, Munchin Skull in the yellow one. Then we've got Rick Binnersley in another Porsche, Beer in another Porsche, Koz in a Nissan, and Charger in a Nissan. So these two, as expected, battling it out now. I think C-Sam is genuinely quicker around here, but you know, he's going to have to bring a double A game to get past Rodders. C-Sam is a bit of a master when it comes to sticking to you like shit on a stick. This guy's really good at it. What's also nice to see is 2 different cars, but in the same class. Rodders in the Nissan Rock, the R9CK, and C-Sam in the Porsche, the 962. Very loose at the back end, which is typically what Charger says the day after a beer. A bit loose at the back end, but these two are you know, on their own out there. But right behind, just coming around the corner there, you saw C-Hacks, and with him leading a group of Rigel, and I believe Alwyn is about 3 seconds behind Rigel. Cockpit with Rigel, looking at C-Hacks. On, lift, on. So this 4 here are really out on their own, not really being challenged, and now created some air. We've got a group of 2 We got CSAM and Rodders. So CSAM has now taken Rodders while we were looking at Rigel and Seahacks. So Rodders is now in trail. And we've now got Seahacks and Rigel here. Rigel overtakes Seahacks if indeed he has the run on Seahacks. Then of course we'll then be into Rigel and Rodders and Rigel in second and third place. Those mates off track, but the nemesis of each other on the track. A rightful infliction of retribution manifested through an appropriate agent. In this case, Rodders. And then Rodders says, a rightful infliction of retribution, in this case manifested through an appropriate agent. In this case, Rigel. Both of which are the nemesis of one another on here. Let's have a look back down the field there. Some exciting racing going on here. Munchin Skull right behind the Nissan of Al Gartner. Munchin Skull in the yellow Nissan, and he's just gone off. Oh, I've commentated, cursed that guy. He's lost 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. Rick Binnersley in 9th place in the Porsche. Fergie in 10th place following Rick Binnersley. Now only 0.5 of a second behind him. Evil in the garish Momo Porsche 962 livery. Cars out there in the Nissan taking things nice and enjoying it. That's a nice livery. So flat, these cars being challenged. Who's that? Munchin Skull. Calm down, lad. Find out where your brake pad is. You know, if you're no good in a class, get over, let everyone pass, and just follow. But I think there was a bit of a tapping going on there. Absolutely no need for that, Munchin Skull. Dave Crew, who's now going to try and attempt to pass Munchin Skull without getting his head bitten off or his, you know, wings bashed in or anything. Charger in 15th place. FX in 16th and Beer in 17th. These are hard cars to drive, I tell you. This group of 3 here, Rick Binnersley, Fergie and Evil, all in the Porsches, following now Al Gartner, who's in 8th place. Al's in the blue Nissan there, leading that group. Just behind them in the background there, the red and yellow Momo livery Porsche 962 is Evil. And as I predicted, the Rodders Rigel show is on the road. Riding with Rigel now, looking at Rodders, so he managed to get past, he didn't manage to get past Seahacks. Seahacks managed to get past Rodders. So well done to Seahacks. Looking at Seahacks now, so Seahacks now is challenging CSAM. Although, you know, Seahacks has got 6 seconds, and Rodders has just taken CSAM there. Fantastic move along the Dottinger. But look who's coming. It's Rigel. And Rigel now moves up to 3rd place. Seahacks now down into 4th place. So from 2nd to 4th in one section. CSAM, stop, press, rejoins the track in 5th place. But that car is now seriously damaged, surely. Well, it's limited damage, but you certainly feel it. You can see it just can't put the power down. So CSAM is now down into 5th place. Locking up won't help, but someone else has just gone there, and I think that was Seahacks. Yep, Seahacks there. Oh, now we've got to be careful, particularly with regards to rejoins. Seahacks rejoins and is now in 10th place. Bad luck, Seahacks, but you know better than anybody, as all it takes is one tiny mistake, and in these cars it will just instantly bite. Rodders now back up into 1st place. Rigel in 2nd place. So now the Rodders Rigel show is now back on. Rodders though 0.7 of a second in front. Rodders in the Nissan, Rigel in the Porsche, and Alwyn great news for Alwyn, up into 3rd place now. 1.26 seconds behind Rigel, so certainly one up there. CSAM already, even with that which is undoubtedly damaged, although limited, has now run up into 4th place. But there is definitely something wrong with that car. Let's see whether we can't get a better look. I don't think on damage, on limited damage, you'll get any sort of view of damage. But interestingly enough, let's have a look at the tyre strategy. Well, Rodders is on hards, Rigel is on hards, Alwyn is on softs, CSAM is on hard. Going wide shot now, Alwyn looking at the rear end of Rigel, which is a bit of a weird place to be honest with you. I've looked at the rear end of Rigel. I've been at the rear end of Rigel at Bathurst, and you wonder what you're doing there, to be honest with you. I mean, but if you're going to be at the rear end of anybody, be at the rear end of Rigel and learn how he races while you're racing behind him. Just take plenty of toilet paper. So Alwyn there behind Rigel, right behind him CSAM already climbed up into 4th place. CSAM will not be taking any prisoners. Bit of a battle going on here with Fergie now challenging Al Gartner, just got in front of him there. Fergie in the Porsche, but I think actually Carlos Barros is now leading that group. Fergie looking on the inside now. Barros finding it difficult to put power down. Fergie taking the line now, and certainly quicker than Barros through here. As now Fergie now moves up to 6th place. Barros in 7th place. Al Gartner in 8th place. Already a challenge up at the front here. We've now got CSAM riding with CSAM, hunting down Alwyn. Now CSAM is considerably quicker than anyone else out there in the touring cars, but how does that compare with the Group Cs? Well, I'll tell you, the best lap so far out there has been Rigel, has been Rodders with a 6:33.178. Second place, Rigel with a 6:33.706. CSAM 6:36.201. So he's considerably off the mark, isn't he? 3 seconds. But his last lap was a CSAM's last lap was a 6:36. Alwyn, however, who we're watching now, has done a 6:34. So Alwyn can go faster than CSAM. Now this group are not leaving each other. You've got Rodders out in front with the blue and white Nissan. Then you've got these 4 Porsches, 3 of which are in view. Rigel, CSAM and Alwyn. CSAM only 0.3 of a second behind Rigel, where he's always comfortable. Hanging out the rear end of Rigel. Let's stay with CSAM for a little while as we're coming up towards the last quarter of the Nordschleife. And just towards the entry of Dottinger Road, which of course is that huge long straight part of the Touristfahrten. And already you can see, 0.20, 0.21. But CSAM is staying fairly close. Much better drive through there. Through the second carousel. Not really a carousel, it's a 90-degree. Looks like Beer's retired. On, lift on. Now on the Dottinger. Good drive out of there from CSAM. CSAM, 0.64 from Rigel, 0.63, 62, 61, 59, 57. He is clawing him in. 0.53. 0.50. Meanwhile, Rodders is pulling away from Rigel. 0.55. 1.56, 1.57, CSAM, 0.23, 20, 18, 16, 14, 12. Side by side, down the Dottinger Road, and CSAM regains his second place position. Rigel now in third place. Excellent racing there down the Dottinger Road from them two. CSAM's gone from 5th to 2nd. And unbelievably, it's just taken Rodders. Crikey, where did that come from? Did Rodders have his eye off the ball for a minute, or did just CSAM just have that much drive that he was able to exploit that? But significantly already pulling out nearly a second out of Rodders. So something I think has happened there, or CSAM has eaten some amphetamine or poured it in his eyeball or done something. I don't know what's going on there, but and already 1.1, 1.5 seconds in front. Unbelievable. Perhaps the tyres have warmed up. I'm not sure. I mean, how you can go from where it was to where he is quite so easily. He made passing Rodders look like a walk in the park, and that certainly is not the case. Rodders has now got his nemesis on his wing, looking back to Rigel. Rodders again in the Nissan, Rigel in the Porsche. Let's revisit the last laps and the best laps. CSAM's best lap, 6:19.401 versus Rodders' 6:20.983. Rigel 6:22. So, CSAM proved it in the World Touring Cars and now proving it in the Group Cs. Supremely quick out there. I'm looking at who's got what tyres out there. Everyone's running hard tyres except Alwyn on softs, Al Gartner on softs, Carlos Barros on softs, and Stephen Fergie on softs. So when they come in for a pit, they will have to change to the opposite compound. But it seems that the hards are the ones that are being well used. Certainly not well used, but certainly better off on the hards around here to run them first and have the softs for the sort of last third of the race, perhaps. Right, let's go through the field. Sadly, Beer has retired. Charger has retired. Dave Crew in 15th place, currently in the pits. Munching Skull currently in the pits. Look like his car has been built with Lego. I'm not sure whether he's repairing or not. He's got damage. Dave Crew in 14th. Cos in the Porsche on 13th. Cos's last lap 6:59 versus CSAM 6:19. FX out there in 12th. Oh, whoa. Let's quickly flick to these two playing games with each other. Rigel in the white, Rodders in the blue and white Nissan. I think that Nissan looks like it's got a nose that only a mother could love. I'm not sure whether he's hit the arm cone, whether that's being shown. It looks like he's a bit smashed up. I don't think he is though. Munching Skull has now been fixed and is now back out there. Good for him. So Fergie in 11th now. Seahacks, who was doing so very well right at the front, and then had that problem, had that spin on that first corner, and lost 5 places in the case of about a second and a half. Currently running in 10th. Rick Binnersley out there flashing at me on the race director. Thought you'd see what he's up to. Now the only people that have pitted so far are Cos, Dave Crew, and Munching Skull. No one else has pitted. CSAM out there in first, getting a little bit out of shape there. Behind him, Rodders and Rigel having their own little battle. we'll keep a close eye on that. Rick Binnersley hunting down Al Gartner in the blue and white type Group C Nissan. Rick Binnersley's last lap was his best lap actually, was a 6:45.822. So Charger looks like Charger retired, as I said earlier. I think it has something to do with the net. I think with COVID and with all sorts happening on in the world, I think everyone is on race room this weekend, and the net in general is unstable. Never thought I'd hear the day that I'd say that. CSAM out there, 1.3 seconds in front of everyone else. Rodders close behind him. Rigel in third place. In the wings with new kit, Justin Madley in fourth place. Behind him, 3.5 seconds, Alwyn in fifth. Al Gartner, fantastic position for Al. I'm sure he absolutely loves where he is now. Something tells me, a little bird tells me that Al likes the Group C's because he looks very calm and collected out there. He's put some good times in. His best lap is a 6:35. That's about 15 seconds off of CSAM. But you know, very comfortable out there. Stop check, stop gap, stop press. CSAM Rodders have swapped again. Keep missing it, don't we? And look, guess what? Another challenge. So powerful, these cars. You can see CSAM there. You know, the acceleration on that Porsche is just better than the Nissan, I think you find. I'm not sure whether Rodders is finding it difficult to put the power down on that Nissan, but you know, they swapped places there for a little while. Looks like Rigel has gone into the pits. Let's just check. Yep, I thought he has. So he will be the first one from the front runners to pit. His tyres are changed. He's now on softs. And in the last throws of this race, 25 minutes remaining, he is going to throw himself around that track like I do on a Tuesday night. On my special Tuesdays, I throw myself around. Well, I don't throw myself. You know, you don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. You scoundrel. FX UK, Evil. Evil is down there in 8th. That is the worst livery I think that exists in living memory of any Porsche. What happened to you, Charge? Was it net?
Yeah, it just bumped me back to the garage, which was a bit weird.
Oh, that's a shame. It was just net instability.
Yeah, YouTube's terrible at the minute for me.
Yeah, I had a few issues earlier on. I couldn't connect to race room and stuff, and I think that actually, you know, in this modern sort of world that we're living in now, and especially with the limitations on most people, that there's going to be a huge pull on the sort of infrastructure of the internet, perhaps in the UK, certainly over the next, you know, few months. This is where, ironically, all the tech heads, all the cone heads from BT and everywhere else will actually be rubbing their hands, because they'll eventually actually get a chance to run their performance monitors and their measurement systems on how well or how bad their systems are coping with it all. So you know, it'll be good for them to be able to sort of, you know, test the robustness of their infrastructures. But I think for tonight we're seeing it, aren't we?
Yeah, it's to be expected, to be fair. I noticed on the race room Discord as well that a lot of people couldn't connect, and I think it doesn't help that they've got this free week.
Yeah.
So the servers, I think, are the structures, you know, the infrastructure's a bit overloaded.
How did you find the touring cars out there?
Quite fun, actually. I'm not a huge fan of the Nordschleife. Well, it depends on the car. I do like the track. I'm just crap at it. But they were quite fun. I had to put I pussied out on the Group C's and put not stability,
traction control,
traction, yeah, and I still crashed.
yeah. They're Al Gartner's doing very well out there. Well, he was up into 6th at one point. I think he's down into 11th now. But he was doing very well out there. So a little birdie tells me perhaps he's put a few hours into the seat. But they're a certain type of car to race, aren't they? The Group C. You know, they're the old school. Power is everything. Sod electronics. It's all mechanical grip or nothing.
Yeah, they're a bit they're a bit of a punishment on the arms as well. I've got to be honest. I mean, my wrists, arms, and everything were burning, and I only done a couple of laps. You know, so
Yeah,
they're brutal.
Now, stop check. We're looking at this man here, Rigel, the only one from the top sort of runners who has pitted. So he is now on soft tyres. He's 11 seconds behind Alwyn, who in turn is 12 seconds behind Madley. So 23 seconds. And then we've got CSAM and Rodders, who are within a second. So about 27 seconds. Now, if he keeps at his current rate, and I'll keep a close eye on these time deltas, but actually he should take first place, but we have seen the speed of CSAM out there is in a different class, to be honest with you. You know, he's putting out 6:19s, whereas, you know, our fastest, you know, Rodders and Rigel are putting out between them, you know, an average of a 6:21. So, you know, Rigel needs CSAM and Rodders to come in, you know, over the next lap or two at most, well, one lap. In order to, you know, be able to exploit him pitting early. We'll see. Madley now challenging Rodders, only 0.38 of a second behind Rodders and riding with Madley. We're coming to the last quarter of the Nordschleife, and as I said, you know, the Nissan, you know, the Nissan R9, the Rock, has got longer legs, but the Porsche is quicker acceleration. And as we come through the 4-turn here, look at the legs on that Nissan already. It's just gone. You know, 0.91, 93, 94, 96, 98, 11, 12, 13. So Rodders, you know, is now away, and the Porsche is not clawing Rodders back at all. So, you know, Madley made up that time through either one of two things: Rodders making a mistake, which we caught off cam, and Madley is in the Porsche, which is quicker. We see that on so many occasions now where cars have been side by side coming out of a corner, and the Porsche just leaves the Nissan behind. But you better bring an A game when it comes down to going down the Dottinger. Madley then into the pits. Who else into the pits? CSAM's going out for another lap. Rodders into the pits. So Rodders into the pits, Madley into the pits. CSAM is going out for another. Alwyn into the pits. Rigel now is racing CSAM. He's now passing everyone in the pits. That's Rodders, that's Alwyn and Madley. They're no longer competitive to him. They will not catch Rodders up. They will not catch Rigel up. They're still in the pits now, just exiting. Whereas Rigel is coming towards the end of Hats and Back, and there's no way that you'd catch him. Rigel has got about 10 seconds. Yeah, it's 9 second and climbing, so about 9 seconds on Rodders. 18 minutes left of the race. Rodders is doing a 6:20. Rigel is doing a 6. You know, his best lap was unbelievable. His best lap was a 6:14. That's 5 seconds quicker than CSAM. So, unless I'm reading that wrong, am I reading that wrong? Okay, you're 49 now, Tiger. Close your eyes. Open your eyes again. No, I'm not reading that wrong. CSAM's best lap 6:19.401. Justin Madley's best lap 6:19.5. Rodders' best lap 6:20.983. Rigel has just put in that last lap, which was a 6:14.177. So that's quite phenomenal. And he's already pulled out almost a second on Rodders. and he's now got 20 seconds to catch CSAM, and he doesn't even have to catch it because CSAM is going to need 25 to 30 seconds to be able to pit. So I'm going to predict that Rigel's going to win this race. What do you think, Charge?
You've always got to put some money on Rigel, I think, haven't you?
You've always got to put money on Rigel. It's like going to a roulette and not putting money on naught. You'd be a fool, wouldn't you? Put something on naught.
Rigel's he's just very consistent, isn't he?
Yeah. Right, let's look at the rest of the field. I'll keep a close eye on them timings, guys, and if I see any movement whatsoever, there's lots of space between these cars right now. If I see any movement whatsoever, I will move to it. Dave Crew now challenging Koz. Koz in the red Nissan, Dave in the blue Nissan. In cockpit with Dave Crew, then looking at Koz. Entering Hatson back. And I think Dave will have him down through the Ho Chaiken. On the wing with Koz. Looks like Dave's had a little bit of a bump in the front left-hand side there. But prediction wrong, because Koz is holding his own there. But we'll stay with these two for a little while in cockpit with Dave Crew. And yeah, he's got much better drive out of here. Coming along down past the Arenberg now, or into the Arenberg now actually, and Dave Crew comfortably takes that away from Koz. Well done, Dave. Rick Binnersley, 0.50 seconds behind Seahacks, who just going off on the grass there. Seahacks was doing so well first part of the race, and then span the car at the beginning of the track, right at the north curve, and lost 5-6 places. But fair play to Seahacks, up into 8th place now. Rick Binnersley moving away into 7th. Let's flick on to Madley, who's now 0.97 seconds behind Rodders on the wing with Rodders, and looking back you can see there's Madley there. Rigel, Rodders, Madley, Alwyn, really good racing from them up at the front here. And of course the Resident Evil is also up there now in 5th place, and it's great to see him up there. I just don't want to look at his car. It's making my eyes fall out of my head. Awful. So Madley now 0.70 seconds behind Rodders. Now let's just have a quick flick to CSAM, because he is now coming towards the Dottinger, the main route down along towards the start of the Touristfahrten, and he must come into pit this time round, surely. Let's keep a bit of situational awareness between these two for this minute. This is a crucial area. CSAM. Rigel has closed up. Rigel is now 17 seconds behind CSAM. There's Rigel at the top end of Dottinger, in cockpit with Rigel. Free road in front of him. Nothing stopping him whatsoever. Past the Touristfahrten complex on the right hand side. CSAM into the pits with Rigel then. As I said, all he needs is, he needs about 30 seconds, but he had 17. And he says, see you later, CSAM. This will be fairly close. Well, no, it won't actually. But Rigel is faster than CSAM around here in the Group Cs. Rigel just done that in 6:10.505. 11.505 as Rodders takes CSAM, and Madley now challenging CSAM. CSAM being swarmed. Goodness gracious me, a Frenchman being swarmed, taken from the rear by a Welshman and taken up the rear of a Scotsman. What a international orgy of Group C festness going on out there. Goodness gracious. Madley then in fourth place, but you know, Rigel out there 11 seconds. You know, I said 30 seconds, 17 seconds in front, 11 seconds he's got now, he's carried forward. Well, you know, 28 seconds, I said 30 seconds. But, you know, putting in 6:10s versus Rodders' fast lap now 6:13. Now, why, Tiger, were they doing 6:40s and 6:30s and now they're doing 6:10s and 6:13s? I'll tell you why. Because the tyres are warm and these guys have had a couple of few laps around here now, and now they've pushed them and they know how far they can push them, and perhaps they haven't done as much practice as perhaps they would normally do, but either way they're getting quicker, and that last lap 6:10 is, you know, the fastest lap that's been done out there yet. Battle, stop press, Justin Madley and CSAM, look at them there. Rodders in the blue and white Nissan, CSAM following behind in the Porsche, and Madley sticking to them like shit on a stick. Really wants to find an opportunity to exploit, as I know he will. But to give you some sort of idea, the distance between Madley and Rodders is, you know, 0.70. 0.70 of a second between these three. Oh, Madley just looking like he was going to have a kiss there down at the Calenard, coming into the Veerseffen. But that little swerve there down in Calenard, that's made Madley lose a second. CSAM now in cockpit with him, challenging Rodders, and I think I've just done it at the same time. I think he's just got him, CSAM. Rodders and Madley now have got their own battle. Rigel is out there on his Todd, 11.3 seconds in front of CSAM and doing 6:10s versus 6:19s. Be interesting to see what CSAM's lap is at the end of this. 9 minutes left to go. I thought someone span then, obviously not. 9 minutes left to go. Yeah, sorry, Charge.
I was just going to say, just a little bit of information, that CSAM's time trial time is 6:04.
Goodness gracious me, is it really? 6:04. Alrighty, well, so we know under ideal conditions that CSAM is supremely fast around here. We saw that in the touring cars. We've seen that in the Group Cs, and of course we've you know, just heard that from the time trial there. But Rigel is out there at the front now, being hunted then by CSAM, and with laps of 6:10 and Rigel's current position on the track, let's have a look. It's a fair assessment that they will end up doing another 2 laps. I don't believe that Rigel is going to cross the line. Oh no, he might do. He might. I think this will be very tight between 1 and 2 laps. I think they're going to end up doing one more lap. He's going to cross the line with about a minute left. So no, they will have one more lap left. Yeah, that's right. Oh no. What am I talking about? Yeah, they'll have 2 more laps. They've got 2 more laps. Stop press. Madley challenging Rodders. Right then he was 0.3 seconds behind you, but that's the thing with these cars, are so bloody quick. When you come into these slower corners, you know, that Porsche is so much quicker on acceleration that and they can brake later, that you know, it's easy to make it look like you're really bringing the time up, but then as soon as there's a bit of road in front, guess what, the Nissan, whew, like it's got a rocket up it. Stop press. CSAM is now 7.8 seconds behind Rigel. So CSAM has now... Oh my God, stop, Prest, what on earth? CSAM nearly stops to give a hand, but then thinks better of it. Rodders goes past, says, see you, pal. And Rigel has had to pick up his smug old grin and get back on the bike. But get back on the bike he has. Bit of a shame. I looked at the timing board. I sounded like Boris Johnson then, but I looked at the timing board and I saw it go from 11 to 7 to 3 before I managed to flick back and see Rigel sideways on. You don't see that very often, I tell you. You don't, do you, Charge?
No, he'll be kicking himself about that. I think he's going to be pushing hard now to get that back. I don't know whether he'll get it back from CSAM, but he'll definitely try and get it from Rodders.
I think so, because Rodders' his best lap. Although it's always, with Rodders, it's always his last lap. So his last lap was 6:13, his best lap was 6:13. Previous to that, his last lap was 6:19, his best lap was 6:19. The Rodders is going faster every single lap, and so is Rigel. So I'm willing to bet they're learning more about these cars the time they've been racing them, rather than actually what they would normally do, which is, you know, prepare exceptionally hard. This is not a, you know, this is a fun race and a tribute race, and as suggested by Al Gartner. But that's what this is telling me, is that they're getting faster and faster, which tells me that they are getting to know these cars better and better.
They actually drive quite nice around here, actually. You've just got to be really careful with the curbs.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Rigel then. 3 seconds behind Rodders. Let's have a look at other people. Let's have a quick rundown. First place, CSAM, out there in front. 4.1 seconds behind him. Rodders. You can see Rodders there. Rigel following closely. Behind him, Madley, just now, what, 5-6 seconds behind him. Then we've got Rick Binnersley, essentially at the end of the hats and back. You can imagine the distance he's got there. But well done, Rick. Great to see you up there in 5th place. I'm sure you'll be very happy with that. Alwyn, who was up there at the front and challenging CSAM at one point. Couple of issues. He's now down in 6th place and being challenged by Seahacks. Just looking on the inside there in the other Porsche. We'll stay with these two for a little bit, because I think Seahacks is going to take this from him, or certainly be a serious challenge. Behind Seahacks in the red and yellow Porsche is Evil. Can't move off these three at the minute. It's flashing red at me, which tells me that they're within a certain time frame of each other. But I don't think coming into the Avenberg, I don't think Seahacks has got the speed. But Alwyn goes off. 1, 2, 3 Armcos. That's €30 each. Thank you very much. Seahacks now moves up to 6th place with Evil now still challenging. Look at that. All over him like a new antibiotic on COVID-19. Evil all over Seahacks. 0.35, 0.18 at one point. But Seahacks is no slouch. Seahacks has now decided to go off. Evil says, thanks very much, I'll have this off you. But Seahacks says, not today, old boy. Not today. No traction control, no ABS, old school, serious power in these cars. You got to drive them with a gentle right foot and a fluttering left foot, simulating a manual ABS. Or these will just lock up, understeer, and just send you off into the grass. Alright, I think they're separating nicely at 0.7 seconds now. Seahacks has pulled out there, well done. Keeping a close eye on these other times, guys, so I might just flick to them at any time. FX in 9th place. The flux capacitors. And a bit of space there. He's got 2.5 seconds behind him. A little bit of a which is his brakes screaming, please help me. Fergie, I keep calling him Stephen Ferguson. Please change that name in race room, Fergie, it's Fergie. If you want to be Stephen Ferguson, I'll refer to you as Stephen Ferguson. Ferguson! See me after school. Carlos Barros, officially voted the best name in sim racing. Al Gartner out there in 12th place. Al has now done his pit stop. He's now on the hards. One of only 4 out there on hards at the minute. Alwyn is on hards. Fergie is on soft. Sorry. Carlos Barros is on hard. Al Gartner is on hard, and Koz is on hards. Lovely sound from that Nissan there. You can hear the old dump valve. How did that sound, Charge?
Sound like you just killed a budger.
Stop press, C-Hacks. These two here battling out again, but we'll go back to Al Gartner. Al Gartner out there in 12th. Then we've got Dave Crew in 13th. Wait for it. Stop press, C-Hacks. 0.3 seconds behind Alwyn. Oh, and there's another change up at the front here. I think Madley has just gone past Rodders. Madley has passed Rodders, so Madley is now up into 3rd place. Now, Madley's last lap was a 6:12 compared to Rodders' 6:11. So comparative. Now let's see where C-Sam is now. C-Sam is now, yep, so C-Sam is going to cross the line. C-Sam is going to cross the line, although he's got 17 seconds. So he just hasn't got enough to sit there just before the start-finish line and then cross it. So there will be another lap. So there will be one more lap added on to this race. Stop press. Rodders has now got back in front of Madley, clearly on the Dottinger. But these three here, Rigel, Rodders and Madley, all now in their own bunch of 3. With C-Sam, now 16 seconds in front. Oh, what would have happened had Rigel not have had that spin? I think C-Sam would have caught him at some point. C-Sam has just put in, wait for it, a 6:05. So we went from 6:32, 6:19, 6. In fact, we have the power. Let's look at Rigel. Let's look at Rigel. Let's pop up the driver profile. Damn you, race room. Where's my driver profile? No driver profile. But 6:19, 6:10, and then for Rigel another 6:10. So he's plateaued out at 6:10, whereas C-Sam has gone, into the 6:05s. This group of 3 here will be interesting to watch, and it's anyone's game in my view between these three, Rigel, Rodders and Madley. Madley only 0.29 seconds behind Rodders. Rodders, 0.17 behind. What does 0.17 look like? Well, that's 0.4, 0.3, that's 0.4, 0.2, 0.3. Very, very close racing, these guys, and bags of trust in each other that let's go for a wide shot there, because I think Madley done exactly the same thing, otherwise he would have possibly exploited that. Great view from Madley to Rodders and Rigel. C-Sam pulled out now 19 seconds on Rigel. Rigel 6:10, Rodders 6:11, Madley 6:11. The closest other person on the field is Rick Binnersley, who's right behind Madley by 30 seconds. 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 30 and Rick Binnersley putting a 6:12. Everyone else is now in the sort of latter teens. And oh, what happened there? I'm not sure whether Rodder's lost traction or missed a gear, but whatever happened there, Madley is now up into third place, and Rodder's now trailing 2.6 seconds, 2.7 seconds behind Madley. What do you think happened there, Charge?
I think he just he lost traction. It just looked like he lifted to stop the car spinning, to be honest, which obviously gave Madley the pass.
Yeah, I think you're right. Well done, Madley, but you're going to have to fight to keep it there. But you're now 1 second behind Rigel. That's your challenge point. Rick Binnersley, in my view, leading the rest of the field, essentially. In 5th place out there on his own. Evil in 6th place in the garish Porsche. Seahax, who we saw had a great race at the beginning there, and now in his own no man's land. Alwyn also has been quite a quick runner out there, but now clearly suffering on hard tyres. FX 0.3 second behind Alwyn and looking for a challenge. Then we've got Ferguson, see me after. Out there in 10th place. Carlos Barros out there in 11th place, and all these guys are in their own void at the minute, you know, with a good buffer of time in front and behind them. Al Gartner in 12th place, Dave Crew in 13th place, and finishing the runners is Koz in the Nissan in 14th place, whose best lap was a 6:49, and whose last lap was a 6:51. Munchin Skull, whose driving has been questionable on a couple of occasions, and had a couple, mind you, these are difficult cars, and a couple of dodgy moments out there. He's decided to retire. Good for you. And Charger and Beer have both retired. 14 runners left. Leader out there right now is CSAM. And CSAM 18 seconds out in front. Whew. I reckon these guys will be ready for a break at the end of this. CSAM then on the Dottinger. The Dottinger hose everywhere around Nordschleife. He's got an 18 second buffer. I'm not sure it would have been 18 second had Rigel not have had that off. But he is going to win this race nonetheless. Very well done to CSAM. As we go for a wide shot to see him cross. And there we go. CSAM wins the race for the Group C Al Gartner Tribute, and Rigel now in 2nd place with Justin Madley in 3rd place. Rodders crosses the line now in 4th place. Rick Binnersley at the top of the Dottinger Road in 5th place. And we'll flip that onto Auto Director Charge. I wonder if you'd do me the honour of just doing a number 2 for me, and if I just give you some names here, would you pop up there and just leave it a couple of minutes and drag them down for post-race chat? Or are you dead? Have you died? Have you died in your chair? Well, I'll tell you what, folks, we'll do things differently this time. I'm not going to drag anyone in here, I'm going to go up there. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I am. Well done, Evil. Evil finishes 6th. Then we've got Seahax. He had a good race, Seahax, at the beginning there, and then crikey, holy moly. It just... all you need is one spin in these cars, and that's where he had it at the North Curve. the first curve, T1 essentially, and all fell apart, didn't he? Let's go manual for a minute. FX looking like he's going to challenge now, Alwyn, but no, brings it home in 10th place. Well done to you, Carlos Barros. And I think what we should do is we should leave the camera on Al Gartner. It's his tribute race. He's got a great space there. I mean, he's like 45 seconds in front of Dave Crew and Cos. So wonderful. We'll let Cos cross the line. Cos is still out there racing, so we will let Cos finish the last part of his race. And then we'll zip up there in the same channel. They're all up there, all of them. We'll zip up there and we'll have a quick chat with them in general terms. Oh, Cos, oh dear, oh dear, dear, dear. Bit of grass cutting. Never mind. Keep it together, son. Keep it together. Yeah, good evening, Ryan. Yeah, it would have been nice to see you out there. See how you would have done on the very difficult Group Cs. But not a problem anyway. Look forward to seeing you in the other races. Great. Well, look, what can we talk about while Cos is yip-yapping around this last part of this quarter of this Nordschleife? Well, we've got some interesting stuff coming up. We've got ACC League starting on the 28th next week. Lots of training and practice going into that, notwithstanding the starts and the starting system. And that's going to be fantastic. That is very, very popular, as ACC is of late anyway. RWB are not putting down Race Room. Race Room is still the mainstay, and isn't going anywhere. ACC League starts at RWB on the 28th, and of course AMS2 is in beta, and that's going to be fantastic. There's never a better time to be in sim racing, with these new sims. Absolutely fantastic. And if you're watching this and you want a piece of the action, as a lot of people have done over the past couple of weeks, then well, just step up to the line and have a pair of balls and say, I want to be part of your club. What have I got to do? Zip along to rwbracing.club and find out all you need to there, and then come along to Discord and we'll square you away. Right, I am now going to do an interview with those guys. I'm going to pop up there, and I'm going to finish off the stream up there. Okay, here we go. To a load of old swearing and stuff. Look, you're still live. Everyone is still live, and I thought it was pertinent and poignant with you all here before you all disappear to do a quick 3-minute post-race interview and open chat with you all, and then we'll close the stream down, all of us, and perhaps you'll all close it down in the right intent that is meant. First question to all of you, which is an open question. If you go around the Nordschleife in your own car, it costs €31 per metre of Armco if you damage it slightly. How much is your bill so far?
A lot.
I hit the same bit. I hit the same bit over and over. So
well, you can't just hit it and take it home. Touring cars, first of all. The winner, Rodders, you were the winner. C-Sam was second, and C-Hacks in third place. Touring cars, a challenge around there, C-Sam?
Yeah, a lot. Yeah, it's really easy to lose the rear if you are not braking in a straight line. So if you look at the track, there are just only one straight line. So it's really easy to go off track. So it was really tough.
Yeah, great, thank you. Rodders, you won that. You were in the Lincoln Co. Now, I don't know whether you know this, I'm sure you probably did, you've done your own homework, I'm sure, but there are 6 classes of cars that hold records around the Nordschleife. There is the compact cars, the mid-range cars, the executive cars, the SUVs, the sports cars, and the prototypes. And of the prototypes, there are 3 other classes. And the class for the touring car is held by the Lincoln Co. Exactly the same car that you drove last year, put in a record time, and that time was 7:20.143. What was your fastest time?
I don't know.
7:20.143.
You're joking.
No.
No way. What? Genuinely, exactly the same.
Well, actually, I'm not quite sure, but you know what? It sounded fine.
Sorry. Rewind that bit. Wow.
The record by the Lincoln Co. is a world record that's held at Nordschleife. It is 7:20.143, and your fastest lap around there, and you'll see it on the video whenever you watch it, was 7:20. But I couldn't remember what the point was. So
yeah.
you had a really good one there. But a good race for you, clearly.
Yeah, I loved the front wheel drive around there. It was cracking. It's just really exciting to take around that track. To be honest, I've never done it before.
Yeah, really good. And you and Sam, Chloe had some close racing on the last bit at the end of the Dottinger Road there. And I said to you when we had the mid-race comms there, but you thought for a minute he was gonna have you, and probably if he had another lap or so, perhaps he would have done. But that was quite close. Really good racing.
No, it was faster.
Very much so. Good racing. Well done to the pair of you. Seahacks, great position, 3rd place. I'd love to have seen you up in there at the front groups as you were with the group with the Class C, but had a problem on T1 at North Curve. But you came 3rd in the touring cars. Happy with that?
I'm not sure I did, but
yeah, you did.
I'm still happy anyway.
You did. I just told you did.
Okay, yeah. Very happy with that, mate. It was a great race. Group C was a bit of a mess. Didn't do enough prep, but it was a lot of fun just pushing those cars around that track. I just wanted to go around as fast as possible, so yeah, it was good.
Now the Group C's, they're a real challenge. They are what they even to this day. If you say what's a proper rally car, well, give me a proper rally car, they're not going to turn around until you give you an R5. They're going to say Group B 1982. They're going to say Metro 6R4 on alcohol. That's what they're going to say. Audi Quattro S1. And when you say, give us a sports car, give us a bloody proper sports car, they will say, the Porsche 962 or what they call the Nissan Rock or the R9. So they're really powerful, lots of power. I think Race Room says 800. That's actually rubbish. It goes up to 900. I said 820, I think, at the beginning, but having done a bit more research while I've been commentating, it goes right up to 900. No traction control, no ABS, space frame. In general terms, Rigel, how did you find them?
Oh, they were great fun. I mean, despite them being such monsters, they're extremely controllable, really, and they're a joy to drive around there. I mean, when you go through corners like the Stefan Beloff S,
yes,
they just flow straight through there. It's just, I don't know, it's eye-bleedingly quick.
Yeah.
They are a joy.
You came 2nd in that race, but I thought you had a great pit strategy, and you were the first of the top runners to pit. And what was very clear was you becoming very much more comfortable with the car as the race was going on. You started putting in 635s up to 619, 610. Your fastest being a 610. So it was very clear that the delta between the fastest and your slowest, it was getting quicker as you were going along. So. I'm assuming that's everything to do with the car, the cars, the tyres, the brakes, and obviously you pushing it to extremes, getting more comfortable with it.
Yeah, they perform so much better on the soft tyres, but in testing, I realised you could just about squeeze 5 laps out of the soft tyres, so I thought I'd go with that strategy, and it did work. but CSAM had a superior setup, and well, as you saw, he did a 6:05. So
Yep.
even though I spun just before the main back straight, I think he would have caught me anyway. So I finished where I was going to finish, I think.
Yeah, that was you know, at the beginning there when you came out, you know, you had I think it was 11 seconds or so, and I think I did mention you know, crikey, that's pushing it a bit, and then all of a sudden, you know, 6:05 came out from nowhere, well, not out of nowhere. I mean, Sam's laps were getting progressively quicker. He's quick around there anyway. He's put some time and hours into the seats. I know he's on the time trials and so forth. Sam, you won that one. You must have had a little. Did you have a little chuckle when you saw Rigel sideways as you went past him at the second carousel?
Yeah, but not
you
because
did.
he crashed. I was a bit upset because I made plenty of mistakes as well, and it was kind of a relief to see other drivers do mistakes as well. So yeah, sorry for that, Rigel, but
So it saved you an overtake, I think, but
yeah,
it would have been quite easy down the back straight.
yeah, maybe.
Awesome. And to third place. Third place was to Madley. Madley, nice to be up in that top in the top group.
Yeah, that was great fun, mate. Both races, thoroughly enjoyed them.
Anything to do with the fact that your rig weighs 2.5 tons and the house moves rather than the rig, or new equipment? Shh, don't tell the wife there's new equipment in there.
Oh,
Yeah, you had a couple of little battles backwards and forwards with Rodders. Rodders was obviously you know, was first at one point, then second, then fourth. Then there was the Rodders and Rigel show. There was the Nemesis and Nemesis, as I referred to it, but all the time that was going on, you were eating the time away from them, and all of a sudden appeared. It was good to see you finish in third place. I'm glad you enjoyed the race. Well done for you.
cheers, buddy.
The racer of the event, however, ironically, is the very person for which we're all here for.
Yeah.
And Rodders says some nice words in the intermission, and I'd strongly advise you, whether you watch them now or during the week, that you should take some time out and listen to what was said about the person who's the racer of the event. The racer of the event is Al Gartner. And Al Gartner had a couple of fantastic races out there. The second race out, it was good to. At one point, you were sixth, and then you dropped down again, and it was just very clear that you were really enjoying those cars, those Group Cs. Is that the case? Do you like the? Are you a Group C man?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I want to thank all for giving me this tribute, which was very, very enjoyable. And it's really a friendly conspiracy.
Well, it is a conspiracy because the definition of a conspiracy is pre-arrangement by more than one person. So you're absolutely right. It is a conspiracy. Al, you are our racer of the event. Very well done. If this was a league, then you'd get extra points. It's not, so you don't get anything except our thanks for being you, because that's the whole point of this tribute race, is to say thank you to the odd RWB member that goes above and beyond that which you might think is just normal. You are generous, you are a mainstay, you are dedicated, and you are committed. You are an elderly gentleman, but at the same time you love to mix it with the young uns, and you can bring it as well. You're a great example, and you're an epitome to the rest of us in RWB. I said earlier on, if we all had a little bit of Al Gartner, which is a calm, collected approach, we would all be better off. Christ, I think if the world had a little bit of Al Gartner, we'd all be in a better place, I think.
He's
So,
ours.
but he's ours. He's RWB. So sod your COVID-19. When Al's finished with you, he's back. Listen, everybody, it's been a long night. I know you probably want to watch the stream or whatever. I'm going to leave the final few words to Al Gartner, and we'll finish off after that. So, Al, you've got the final stage to say anything that you'd like.
Well, I think it was a great race and people enjoyed it, I think. It was very clean. I made some mistakes and I had to drive through, and I was a little sorry about that. That's my mistake. So thanks to all for this event. Really, really appreciated, honored and touched.
Very welcome.
Yeah. Welcome. Well, cheers out.
Cheers,
out.
Al.
Well, I
Good
think with a virtual clapper, everyone will see the stream out. You know what they say, everyone? Don't race alone. Race RWB. Till next week, then. The first round of the ACC League. See you later. Take care now.